Okay, so what is accessibility? Accessibility means to access some system and entity that makes things access for both able-bodied and disabled bodies, disabled people. So if everything is accessible to everybody, including the people with disability, then it is called an accessibility. Accessible. Any entity or any system or any environment, design, the design of the design of the product or the environment should be made in such a way that it can be accessed by all the persons with disability. See, that includes visually impaired, people on the wheelchair, people with learning disability, autistic people, people with dyslexia, and all types of disabilities. Next slide. So next question, why is accessibility important? Accessibility is very, very important because unless things are not accessible, unless our environment is not accessible to people with disability, inclusion will not come. Inclusion of people with disability into the mainstream will be a very, very difficult task. It is already a difficult task. So we need accessibility to include people with disability in the mainstream. What is accessibility audit? Accessibility audit is to establish whether a particular environment common is संकेत मेरे को वर्ड नहीं दिख रहा है संकेत what is that word can you show me that word
can you see it now?
No, it's covering my screen.
In terms of access and ease of use by
My
citizens.
camera is coming in. My camera is hiding that. Okay, okay, accessibility audit is an environment. Sorry, accessibility establishes accessibility audit establishes how well a particular environment performs in terms of access and ease of use for persons with disability. So we will when we perform an accessibility audit, so we have to look into various criteria that in that particular environment or that product is accessible to every disability, every person with disability. Next slide. Yes, there are a lot of guidelines for infrastructure access in India. In Persons with Disability Act 1995 makes it mandatory that people with disability be provided with equal opportunities to protect their rights for full participation. Spaces to be designed to suit the needs of all people with disabilities. There's another thing called building bylaws 2015. This mandates barrier-free environment are maintained to ensure inclusive cities and universal universal designs in the city in the urban area. So when we do our accessibility audits, so we refer to the latest urban guidelines from the urban ministry that are provided by the urban ministry for accessibility accessible infrastructure in throughout the urban areas. In some cases,
Yes.
you need for that harmonious
Guidelines.
guidelines 2016 to everybody when you
Yes.
speak about the urban ministry guidelines.
Right.
Okay. We conducted an accessibility audit in December 2016 at Villepalli in Mumbai, in a Mumbai suburb. It was an overwhelming experience altogether. When we started the accessibility audit in that area, we realized that 90% of the area is inaccessible in spite of so many laws in place by government of India. So we found that none of the guidelines are followed anywhere in the Mumbai, in the city of Mumbai. This area, we consider this accessibility audit in this area as a sample example of accessibility in Mumbai city, in the entire Mumbai city. So these are some of the pictures we are sharing with you when we did the accessibility audit. Yeah, so we approached the government. The initial response was not good. We wrote to the CM Municipal Commissioner 3 times, but he did not respond. They did not respond to us. So we somehow got the number of the municipal ward officer of municipal board of municipality, and we initially, even he was not ready to give us an appointment, so we had to threaten him, like we had to give him warnings, like we will go to the press if you don't give us the appointment and all that. So, but finally he gave us the appointment and we went, and it was like when we spoke to him about the accessibility audit and we presented the report, and he was overjoyed to see the report, and he said, we will work on it. But we will work on it, but still a lot of persuasion is required to them. We have to do a lot of persuasion with them, because government does not work unless we persuade them. We have to be after the government authorities to do the things. We were almost on the verge of making one area footpath accessible just before the lockdown, but unfortunately the lockdown happened and we were not able to go ahead with the work. But yes, we have got, they've given us one sample footpath length, which I have already passed with them, and we have told them to replicate the same similar ramps all over the footpath in the same area. In the same area. So yeah, see, this is the footpath ramp which they have created, and in that I had rejected the first ramp because it was not in correct alignment. So they broke the ramp and they made the ramp again. So this is the final ramp, but I gave them thumbs up to make it all over the footpaths all over in the same area. Next slide. Future plans and lots need to be done. Lots and lots needs to be done when it comes to accessibility. Yeah, so accessibility is one of the things which is totally ignored by the government of India, even at the local levels, even in a city like Mumbai. I want to make all the footpaths in Mumbai accessible. Not only that, but I'm going to take up this issue of making toilets accessible, because every time we have spoken to the government authorities to make the toilet accessible, they've come up with something or the other excuses. They say the area is very small, or they say they don't have funding to make it accessible, or they say the toilet has been made by a NGO, so we cannot interfere. So we are planning to do something about that. Hopefully we'll file a PIL or something like that. And yes, once they give me the sample area, that is 50 to 70% accessible, then we are going to carry forward the same thing in other areas of Mumbai. But we will have to work very, very hard on this. So thank you so much for joining the session.